last couple trips to the Goodwill Outlet were pretty successful, and I'm excited to show you what I found to sell on eBay and Poshmark. And there's actually one brand in particular that I have always wanted to find but never had until this most recent trip to the Goodwill Outlet. So I'm excited to show you that one and everything else that I found lately to sell on eBay and Poshmark. My plan is when I get home from work today to photograph all these items and start getting them listed. But all right, hopping right in. This is a Pendleton denim shirt, and this is a brand that I sometimes like to pick up. It's actually a local Oregon brand, so I feel like I may come across it a little more often than some people in other parts of the country. But this is a men's denim shirt. It's actually called the Rodeo denim shirt, and it's pretty lightweight, kind of a nice chambray style. It's got the Pendleton logo right here, and then it says letter buck along the arm, which I did just show, which is kind of like their slogan, I believe. So I thought this would be a great pickup from the Goodwill Outlet. And this next one is a brand that I will actually pick up their kids items a lot of times, and it is Patagonia. This is a really cute kids puffer quilted jacket. It's a size kids extra small or 5'6". Nice hot pink or magenta color. So heading into the fall here soon, that should be a pretty quick sale, and I actually really like finding kids Patagonia items. They can still sell for probably more than you may expect for a kids item to sell. So it's a good brand to come across in kids items. And this is an Anthropologie item. It's got some ruffled details, scoop neck, kind of looks off the shoulder even maybe, and just really feminine, cute polka dots. So I thought that was a really nice Anthropologie piece and style. And I actually sold something really similar to that recently from Aritzia that was smocked, long sleeve, kind of sheer, and it sold really quickly. So I'm very curious to see if that one does the same. All right, then this is a Lululemon workout tank top, cropped length. It's got a spliced neck and the Lululemon logo there. But this one, the size tag is ripped out, so I will need to measure it across the armpit to armpit and the shoulder to hem to get the exact measurement, and then I'll look on the Lululemon website to see their size chart and figure out what the exact size is. Looks like maybe a 6 or an 8 for that one, but I will definitely want to be as close to positive as I can be with the sizing and list it with the correct sizing. All right, then this brand, I've actually only had one other experience selling, but it sold pretty quickly, and it is Packed. Items from this brand are definitely a little bit unassuming. Like, just looking at it, you wouldn't necessarily think it's anything worth picking up or looking into, but they are 100% organic cotton a lot of times, and just made very well and with higher quality materials. So it's a brand that I think is actually a really good one to pick up if you find it at a pretty low cost of good, or just to pick up for yourself. But the last time I sold this brand, it sold really quickly for right around $30. So that is sort of what I would expect for that one as well. And then of course, it being a cardigan, heading into fall soon, it just made sense to pick it up. Alrighty, now this brand was new to me, never had heard of it. It kind of reminded me of Barber when I first saw it. It's a men's jacket, but let me know if you have ever heard of this brand before. It is called Rod and Gun, and it's a really nice men's jacket. I guess you would call it kind of a chore coat, and size extra large, navy blue, just a really nice men's item. And I did do a quick comp check when I was at the bins because I saw it said woven in Italy, and just kind of had the vibe overall that it might be a little bit higher quality and worth picking up. And it looks like this should sell at least for 100 bucks. Some are selling for more, but I need to look into this specific style and, you know, price accordingly. But it seems like a really good brand, and I am curious to see how quickly it sells, because sometimes new brands, you just don't really know. The, you know, sale price could be really good, but they might not actually sell very quickly, or they might sell really quickly. So I'm always a little bit curious and just, you know, not totally sure what will happen, but I do think once that item does sell, it will leave me with a really great profit, and it's a brand I'm hoping to find more in the future. All right, and then for the cutest item of the haul, this is a adorable mini JanSport backpack. And this one I actually found in the bins inside another bag. I think it was like, I don't know if it was a reusable bag or another backpack, I cannot remember. But this past weekend when I was at the bins, I felt that there was something else in a bag and pulled this out. So even though it was a pick through bin, I don't know that anyone fully inspected that bag, because this is just so adorable and in pristine, perfect condition. So this won't be too high of a sale price, but I can anticipate that selling pretty quickly because that's like very trendy, very 90s, and I feel like mini backpacks are quite trendy. So I think that will do pretty well. Then this next one I was quite excited to come across, and I'm pretty sure it was in somebody's throwback pile, which I have a very love-hate relationship with finding somebody's throwback pile, aka the pile of things somebody decides they don't want after they originally grabbed them from a bin somewhere in the Goodwill Outlet. So it's just, you know, a pile in a bin that you can usually tell is a throwback pile because there are some good brands, good pieces, but in my experience, a lot of times those are in a throwback pile is because the item has flaws, or, you know, for one reason or another, the person decided not to pick it up. So when I found this Alexander Wang pair of nylon pants, I wasn't really sure why someone would throw them back. They seem really nice, great style, you know, swishy nylon pull-on pants, elastic waist, and then I found some, what I assume is sap. Looks like someone wore these and sat on a tree stump or something like that, but there is some sap a little bit throughout. I think there's at least 2 or 3 spots that have sap. So I, you know, was like, should I take them? Should I not? What do I do? And I just really could not leave an Alexander Wang pair of pants, especially a pretty current, you know, trending style behind, especially when I think I can actually get this out. So I did some Googling while I was at the bins, and it looks like there are many options of how to get this out. One is to freeze the item. There were a couple others that I cannot think of right now, but there seemed to be a few different ways that I could get this out. So I decided, all right, I'm going to pay $2 for these and spend 30 minutes or however long it takes to get those sap stains out. I think they will still do very well, but I'm hoping those sap stains do come out as well as I think they will. And if not, then I'm only, you know, $2 out, and that's really not that bad. So I figured it's worth the risk, and I'm really hoping that I'm able to successfully clean those up a little bit. All right, then this next piece is one that I really like to come across, and that is J. Crew. This is a really nice wool blend quarter zip pullover sweater. This would fall under the category of not the most exciting to find, but reliable. I think that these J. Crew, especially their more basic but I guess like classic pieces, people really love to get these, and they don't tend to take that long to sell because it's a pretty just like staple piece in a lot of people's wardrobe. And I think that you know, like I said, even though they're not the most exciting, people tend to need those kind of items and are on the lookout for them on the resale market. So I was happy to come across that. Even though I wasn't like heart pounding, sweating, excited, I still am happy to see those for sure. And then this next one is a men's brand that I really like to come across. It's a really good one to know if you don't already, to be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. And that is Taylor Stitch. So this is a long sleeve button down shirt, men's shirt, size 40, sage green color, great staple piece. These items typically do pretty well. This is a brand that I think can sell pretty quickly. Even if it doesn't sell for a whole ton, it can move pretty quickly and still leave you with a really great profit. So I really do like to come across that brand. And when I find it, as long as it's in good condition, I am picking it up. All right, then this one I inspected like 17 times because it's white to make sure I wasn't missing any stains. And it is an Abercrombie & Fitch men's muscle tee. It's a long sleeve one, and it does have the Abercrombie spell out along the arm and the logo on the chest. So I sold one of these recently. It was a short sleeve, sold pretty quickly on eBay for 17 bucks. This one I would probably expect maybe closer to 20 to 25, especially because it's long sleeve, but it's truly in perfect condition. It's a nice thick cotton, and these Abercrombie items, especially with the logo visible and the spell out somewhere, are just doing very well right now, so be on the lookout. All right, and this one was in that same throwback pile that the Alexander Wang pants were in, and I'm assuming it was a throwback pile because it was such a picked through bin, and then two really good items were right next to each other. But I inspected this item to see if there were any flaws on it also, like the Alexander Wang pants, and there weren't. At least that I haven't found so far, so hopefully it remains that way. But it's a Farm Rio mini dress, and let me know if you've ever found this brand. I've seen it at buy-sell trade stores, but never actually picked it up, and certainly have never found it while out thrifting or at the bins. But this is just such a nice, colorful, printed, long sleeve mini dress. It's got some puff sleeves and a little bit of a cinched hem with some, like a kind of a tiered hem, or just a little bit of, you know, a flowy boho sort of a style. And these button details are stunning. They're beaded, rainbow, freaking gorgeous. Size medium. Looks like in excellent condition. I'm hoping it actually is once I put it under the lights while photographing it, because, you know, the bin's lighting can be a little dim and dingy, and sometimes it's hard to see every single flaw. So I am holding space for the fact that it might actually have flaws, but from what I could see with the naked eye, it did not seem to have flaws. So I'm hoping it does turn out to be as great of a sale as I'm expecting it to be, with it being in good condition and not actually a flawed item. So we'll see. All right, but that's it for this video. I know it was kind of a quick one, but I did want to share a haul with you and show you what I've been finding lately to sell. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. And thank you so much to anybody who continues to come back, watch my videos, leave comments, leave likes, share my videos. Anything you do to support me, I really do appreciate. Does not go unnoticed, and I just really appreciate your support. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a really good rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.